Alright, so this video is going to be essentially my collection of all the things that I gathered over the summer. I collect things a lot slower than Alex. Alex goes out, and he's better at this than me. So this is going to be my attempt at making a hey look at these comics video. This is going to be all the stuff I got over the summer. Really, it's just a lot of Invincible. If you've listened to any of our episodes over the past couple months, you'll know that we're on a big, at least I am, I'm on a big Invincible kick. So first up, I got Invincible 17. Really nothing too special about it. It's an early issue. I really like the cover. He's throwing his hat higher than everyone else because he's a superhuman and he's a Viltrumite and he's a lot stronger than everyone. You know, it's, like I said, it's early Invincible. It's from 2004, so it is 10 years old, which, you know, according to me, is pretty old as far as comics go. I don't own a lot of stuff that's much older than that. Ryan Ottley's on the art. He's always great. This is when it started to turn more into Ryan Ottley art as opposed to Ryan Ottley doing the, you know, I don't want to say imitating, but, you know, back when it was like Cory Walker-esque. But it's a fantastic book, even this early. It's always been great. It's one of those books that's just consistently great. So any chance I can grab to pick up an early issue, I try to dive at it. Second, right in line, Invincible 16 is the first appearance of Angstrom Levy, one of the most annoying villains in the history of Invincible because he just keeps coming back. Anytime you think he's gone, he's not really gone, and it shows like alternate universe Invincibles where they're kind of messed up, but you know, you can't go wrong. Early Invincible, you're gonna sell me on it every time, even if it's not a key issue. But it's the first Angstrom Levy, who, like I said, very annoying, but he's a great character, very individual. I don't even know what that means. Let's see, Invincible 14, just another early issue. Nothing special about it. There's no key first appearances or whatever. Again, it's just early Invincible. Found it cheap, you know, in a long box in the back room of a comic shop, you know, so I can't complain. I think I literally got it for maybe 50 cents over cover price, and for a book that's old and, you know, Invincible's kind of gaining a lot of steam. Early issues are getting up there in price, depending on, you know, who's charging. But I picked that one up as well. Still on Invincible, go figure. Invincible number 9. This one is one that I really wanted. I got this at Hartford Comic Con this past July. I can't remember when Hartford was. June? I don't even know. Number 9 is the first appearance of Alan the Alien. One of my favorite characters, one of our favorite characters, really. Everyone loves Alan. He's a badass. He's kind of like a Saiyan, but with one eye. Homeboy just keeps getting stronger. But, yeah, I picked this up, and I picked up another book, which I'll be showing you in a minute, from the same guy at Hartford Comic Con. He was selling them pretty cheap. I mean, the book's in great condition. You know, I'll buy it if the price is there, and if there's not like a giant rip down the cover. You know, honestly, I want it for me. I don't really give a shit about, you know, reselling it or, you know, it's just about I can show my friends who happen to know Invincible, hey, I have the first Alan the Alien. Also, something was a little cool, I thought. There's a endorsement from Jeff Johns on the back, who, if you know who Jeff Johns is, he's pretty much the saving grace of DC Comics at the moment. But it was cool to see him on the back of an Image book. Next up, also from Hartford Comic Con, same guy, Invincible number 2. It's the first Adam Eve and the first Teen Team, back when they were a thing. Guy had Invincible 1 as well, but it was a second print, which I just passed on, because, you know, I'm not going to pay like $80 for a second print. But I did pick up issue 2, which is still means a lot to me. You know, early issues are getting harder and harder to find. I can't even remember when this is from. 2003. I was still in high school. I was like a sophomore in high school. you know, when this came out, and I managed to snag a copy of it for a really good price. Since I bought issue 9 with this, he gave it to me at a good price. It's one of the cool parts about conventions is you can, you know, if you're buying more than one thing and you're clearly not a jerk, they'll normally go down a couple bucks for you. But it's a cool issue. Love Invincible. Great book. Only one more Invincible thing to show you, I swear. This is issue 81. I know it's kind of different. You know, I was going down from the early issues to number 2. This is issue 81. Nothing really happened in it, you know, of note. But it's an issue that I really like. It has Powerplex, who's one of my favorite characters from Invincible. And if you heard our Boston review episode, you'll know that I picked up one of the pages from this book. It's my first, you know, first page from Invincible. It's the first Otley that I own. Otley's honestly one of the best artists in the industry. His work is far and away some of the best shit you'll ever see. But I managed to pick up a page. I was going to show it, but then I figured we'd save it for if we did an episode of this where Alex and I show off our original art. But I managed to snag this page here. It's a great moment in the story. The art is fantastic. It's just one of the best books out there. Consistently awesome. That's the last of the Invincible, I swear. Other stuff I picked up this summer. Picked up Rob Guillory's sketchbook. Anyone who knows me knows that I love Chew. It's my favorite comic. Rob Guillory draws that comic, and he put out a sketchbook. Just a quick thing he threw together with Chogs and Poyo, essentially as different people from movies. You know, like there's a Chog as Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. You know, and it's something neat he threw together. He had some spares because he was selling them at conventions, and I hit him up and he sent me one. You know, it's signed and all that jazz. It's just something cool. I mean, a Kramer Chog. I don't even watch Seinfeld and I love it. But if you like pop culture, I mean, did I say Kramer Chog? I said Kramer Poyo, idiot. There's also a Poyo that is Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. But it was a cool pickup. Supposedly he's not going to be printing them anymore. I have a cat joining me right now. Just ignore him. But if you can pick up an artist sketchbook, they're normally full of some really cool stuff. And they're normally really cheap. And it supports the artist directly. That was cool. Oh, and there's a cat in the video. Let's just get him out of there. Alright. Next thing. Picked this up at Boston this past summer. Ryan Otley's sketchbook. They Bite. Ryan does the golden post-it, where if you buy a sketchbook, sometimes you'll find a post-it note inside, and you can win, you know, a print or a sketch cover, or the big one is you win a page of original art, which obviously we all wanted. But I managed to snag. This is the last one. It was late Saturday night at Boston. Was it? No, Sunday. And Alex had picked one up, and I think Colin picked one up. I can't remember. Brett got one, and I hadn't snagged one yet, so I went over to the table, and Ryan was gone, but Rob, who was on a recent episode, Rob Zeta, who helps out Ryan at his table, big Invincible fan, great guy. We had him on a couple weeks ago. I asked him if there were any sketchbooks left. He managed to find one, and I was able to snag it, and it's just full of his really gnarly stuff. Like, obviously Invincible is a super clean book, but he's also great at drawing, like, the really messed up, I don't even know how to put it, but, like, I mean, the Vagiant. You can't, it's hard to beat a pun better than that. But it's a really neat sketchbook, really nice quality, glossy pages, full of just stuff from Ryan Otley. I highly recommend it. If you're not reading Invincible, if you haven't read it in the past, you gotta pick that up. Obviously, I've shown like 10 books in this video, but it's a cool sketchbook. I recommend picking those up when you can. Last thing I have to show is it's the most expensive thing I picked up this summer. We talked about it years ago on the show, with like Grail issues, what our holy grail for comic back issues is. And I managed to pick mine up thanks to Will. Will spotted it for me, and I told him I was interested, and some money was exchanged, and he snagged it for me because I was at a comic shop that's kind of far away from me, up in Worcester. It's like a 45-minute drive. But Will snagged it for me. But I did manage to get Walking Dead #7, which has a ton of stuff in it. I mean, the main reason I wanted it was that it was the first appearance of Tyrese, who's one of my favorite characters in the series. I mean, it's early Walking Dead, which I try to collect. It's hard to find issues, under issue like 15 or so for reasonable prices because they're so inflated because of the show and because it's been going on for so long. But they had this at a pretty good price. It's the first Tyrese. It's early Walking Dead. Under issue 10 really is stuff that I try to hunt for, but it's really tough to find good prices. It's also the first Julie, the first Chris, the first Charlie Adlard. It was after he took over for Tony Moore, and he's been on the book ever since, and they're on issue like 130 something. I don't even know. He's been doing it for ages, so it's his first time on the book, which I didn't even know when I bought it. I just knew it was the first Tyrese and I wanted it. But it's also when Lori reveals that, spoiler alert if you haven't read it, it's when Lori reveals that she's pregnant. Is it Shane's baby or is it Rick's baby? We never know. And this is, let's see, also from 2004. So it's an older issue. It's in great shape. It is a first print. Will made sure to check for me because there is a second print with literally the exact same cover. So the only way to tell is if you read the fine print up in the cover, or the back inside cover. Really early Walking Dead, first Tyrese, who was such a great character. And it's just, it's good stuff. I'm a big fan of Walking Dead. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say that, I guess, now, because everyone likes Walking Dead, and everyone's into the show, and, the new season just broke all those viewership records and all that stuff. But, it's a great series, especially the very beginning. It was just, oh, no, Rick, I'm pregnant. Unbelievable. But it's a really cool book, really cool issue. Really glad I was able to pick it up. So big thanks to Will, obviously, for snagging this for me, spotting it for me. He knew I liked early Walking Dead, but there's even an Invincible promo in the back. Just a cool book.